Good morning.
How you doing?
All right.
Can you start with how Pollard looked after a couple of days off on the side and just any other health issues that you're dealing with going in?
I mean, Tony's working through it. We'll see how it goes. I think really his comments yesterday is the outlook. So we'll take it all the way up to the game, and he'll be part of the mock game today. But we got to make sure we work all the different combinations too.
Michael's on the injury report with a hip. What's going on with that?
Something that flared up in practice yesterday. So we'll see how he moves today, and I don't think it's of a serious nature.
Was an injury suffered on a particular player move in practice or something more lingering?
My understanding is that it kind of started in the weight room on Monday. It was bothering him a little bit, so we're just being cautious.
If you need him, is Ito Smith ready to help out?
I think so. I think he's picked it up quickly. I know the communication from Skip and Kellen, meeting this morning about the personnel. So he's making really good progress. He has fit in pretty seamlessly. So.
What do you like about him? I mean, what have you seen from him as a player that is a good fit for what you?
Well, I think at this time of year, I think number one is experience, but I really like his run style, his versatility there. He's obviously played. Experience. Dan Quinn has experience with him. So, but I think like any time when a player comes in, particularly late in the season, how they transition in, and I know it's only been a couple of days, but when you watch him practice, it looked like he'd been out there for a while. So I thought he did a nice job of jumping in and having an understanding of what we're asking him to do.
With Tony having an issue, who was a candidate to do kickoff returns?
Really, a couple guys, but we'd probably like to hold on to that. But I think if you just look at who's done it there in the past, so it'd be the same options.
And how do you weigh that with him? Because I mean, he's been very effective for you, but you don't want to overuse him as he deals with this. Is that something that's off his plate for the moment to work back to?
I wouldn't say right now, because I think we trust Tony. I mean, this guy's a workout warrior, so we'll just see how it goes all the way through. Pregame will be big. I would assume he would be over there on the first bus and go through that process, and we'll make the decision before the game.
When you're dealing with plantar fascia, is it better to have it torn, or is it? I mean, I don't know how that thing lingers.
The medical staff would tell you it's better for it to tear, and then the healing process then takes into place. Yes, that's my understanding.
So is this torn, or do we know?
We don't know.
We're not telling.
Mike, yesterday, Ron Rivera was asked about you saying the team was going to win on Sunday, and he said that you do that for a couple of reasons. One, you want to get into their head, getting into Washington's head. Secondly, he thinks that you're trying to convince your team of something. He said that you've now made it about yourself, not the players, and he thinks it's a big mistake.
Well, I think like anything, the conversation that we had in here yesterday, we were talking about a number of different things. I think when you come out of a bye weekend, I think just like comments that are made, context is important, and I think sometimes that gets lost, but it's irrelevant when anybody thinks about what I said in here yesterday. I was talking about my team. I always coach my own team, and that's where I'm at with it. So we have great confidence what we're trying to do. It was an honest answer to a question from a great group of people.
Did you see the way some of your players reacted yesterday? They were kind of fired up too, and do you like that response from them?
Yeah, I think it just gives you insight to what, just the way we operate. I mean, I think it's obvious. We're committed. We spend a lot of time together. We're focused on what's next. We understand the urgency of this time of year. We understand the importance of this game, and we know who we're playing. So, like I said, it was a clear, honest answer. So we feel good about it.
You said on your radio show that Lyle's been working at right tackle all week. I guess we can draw logical conclusions from that. I think we asked you earlier in the week kind of this question, but is it the point in the year with the offensive line where you'd like to set it and barring injury, this is how you'd like to go from here forward the rest of the year?
I mean, really, it's the same answer to the same question that you all asked me back in training camp. I mean, you like to set your offensive line as soon as you can, but at the end of the day, when you're talking about starting lineups, combination of receivers, combination of DBs or whatever it is, ultimately it comes down to the players. That opportunity to play with 5 cohesive linemen at the end of the day is formed by the execution and the performance of the players. Yeah, so I am very hopeful that we can come out of this, with the continuity that we're looking for. So, I mean, it's really based on their performance, and that's the way it's always been.
Mike was talking about the difference between players being talented and playing well in cohesion. How have you seen them in practice this week, he, Randy, and Marcus start working together and getting that chemistry?
I mean, just a lot of the little things. I mean, you go down there in the pre-practice, you just watch the the communication of the line stunts and the calls, and so and that's that's the stuff that we talk about bringing in, obviously. One of your veteran players back in, you're excited, obviously, what they bring to the table, but it's just, the pre-snap communication, the feel, the identification, particularly in the line movements, the pressure calls, the formation adjustments. So it's always the little things, the details. So, and that's where, as these guys come back in, and that's the hurdle we got to get over.
Along the same lines, your top 3 wide receivers could play together more on Sunday than they have in any individual game this season. Mm-hmm. That timing isn't as simple as they're back on the field and it's going to be there. What's the process to reestablish the timing with that?
Yeah, I think it's similar to just what we talked about with the defensive front. I mean, it's just the spacing, separation, the challenges that the way defenses are playing us. So, and I think that's why you always see the side work, between the quarterbacks and the receivers, maybe pre-practice, post-practice, because, you get to the end of the year, you're trying to cut things down. You're trying to be smart with how long they're on their feet. But it's just getting those, the specific routes, particularly situational throws that you may be throwing, 2 concepts of CD, maybe only one to Omari. So just trying to keep those detailed because the specialty routes, the off-tempo, throws, and particularly the movement phase, you don't get a lot of reps at those things this time of year. So just trying to stay on top of that.
Well, Lyle, did it take him a while to get back into a rhythm after coming back?
Well, I think, let's be honest, I don't think it helps anybody to miss, 5 weeks. I mean, coming out of training camp and then to go in, I mean, you just look at the timeline. I think the timeline answers the question and just the challenges that, he had to go through.
What are you looking forward to most being back on the sideline? I hope it's only 16, 17 days for you. How long has it seemed since you've been out there?
I mean, I'm just looking forward to being back out there competing with your football team and winning a game. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, it's about Sundays. We put so much time into this, and like I said, this is an important game. And I'm just looking forward to game day. There's nothing like game day.
Mike, how have Randy and Neville done with the work week to this point?
Good, really good. Neville's really chomping at the bit. I really liked his workload yesterday in the padded practice. Randy's just was dealing with a cold earlier in the week, so we've been a little smart with him as far as the reps. But they both look good. I thought, I anticipate they'll be ready to go come Sunday.
Are you clear from a COVID standpoint now? No one else has gone on the...
Yeah, nothing to report today. Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, when we've talked to you about the running game a lot, before you got here, but even going into last year, kind of the RPO was a foundational element of the run game with Dak and Zeke, and you haven't seen it as much this year. Is that because of where Dak is and coming off the injury? Is it just you're doing some different things in the run game this year?
I'm just trying to. I'm just thinking, going back through the calls. Maybe the numbers down a little bit as far as being called, but I think just like anything, it's just because you call, you're not always getting it thrown either, too. So I'm not concerned about it. I mean, it's still part of what we do, and but I think it's fair. I don't think the numbers were attempts are probably what they were in the past.
Deshaun Wright back in the building today?
Not yet, no. Good.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.